Dear friends, last time we saw about average velocity and instantaneous velocity. We also saw some examples based on this. Now we proceed further in the lesson number 3. Now next we have to see about acceleration. Okay, all of us are familiar. See, our vehicle, two-wheeler or four-wheeler have an accelerator. Now see, the accelerator increases or decreases the velocity. So time rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. See, the acceleration is denoted by symbol A. Now earlier we saw velocity is delta x upon delta t. Okay, that is average velocity. For instantaneous velocity, see, by taking limit delta t tends to 0, we get v is equal to limit delta t tends to 0, delta x upon delta t is dx upon t. So velocity we know is dx by dt. Now first we'll talk of average acceleration. Now see, average acceleration is v2 minus v1 upon, that is delta v upon delta t. Now again for instantaneous acceleration, by taking limit delta t tends to 0, that is A is limit delta t tends to 0, delta v by delta t, that is dv by dt. So A is equal to dv by dt. Now, so acceleration, we know it is time rate of change of velocity. Now initially we had displacement x, we denote as. Now v is equal to dx by dt is velocity and A is dv by dt. Now x is our displacement. See, the first derivative with respect to time, v is dx by dt. Okay. Now by taking derivative of displacement we get velocity. That is the second derivative. See, here we have taken derivative for the first time. Here we have taken derivative for the second derivative with respect to time. A is dv by dt. Okay. Now see, what is value of v? Dx by dt. See, that is called d2x upon dt square. See, that is again a mathematical concept, that is called the second order derivative. So by taking first derivative of displacement we get velocity, and by taking the second derivative of the displacement we get the acceleration. So acceleration is a second order derivative of displacement. Now what about unit of acceleration? A is dv by dt. Now velocity is in meter per second, time again is in second, so unit of acceleration is meter per second square. And if we talk the dimension, then it is m0 L1 t. Okay, so this is what we have to know about acceleration. Now we will take a very simple example. Let us say the displacement time relation is given by x is equal to 3t square plus 7t plus 8. Okay. Now suppose we are being asked to find out first average acceleration in time interval t बराबर 0 to and instantaneous acceleration or simply acceleration at t is equal to 1 second. Okay. Now first we have to find out average acceleration. Now we know acceleration is average acceleration is delta v by d. Now x is equal to 3t square plus 7t plus 8. So v is equal to dx by dt. Is 3 derivative of t square is 2t, you know very well. 7 derivative of t is 1. 8 is a constant term. Derivative is 0. So what we get here is 6t plus 7. So now this is the equation for the average acceleration. See here we have to find out average acceleration in time interval 0 to 2 seconds. So acceleration is delta v by delta t, that is v2 minus v0. Why? This is a time interval in which we have to find out the acceleration. Now what is value of velocity at 2 seconds? 6 into 2 plus 7. v0 we can find out. Now average acceleration is v2 minus v0 upon 2 minus 0, that is 19 minus 7 upon. Okay. This is how we can obtain average acceleration in time interval 2 seconds. Okay, time interval 0 to 2 seconds. Now next we have to find out instantaneous acceleration. Now see here equation v is 60 plus 7. Okay. Now see the time rate of change of velocity is acceleration. So we have to go for derivative of equation of velocity that we have obtained earlier. Now here derivative of t is 1, 0. Why? 7 is a constant term. So a is equal to 6. Now what we see here, this value is constant and do not depend on the time. Why? Because in the equation of acceleration there is no t, or it do not contain t. That's why see here the motion described here is with the constant acceleration. So this is how we can obtain value of average acceleration and instantaneous acceleration for a given time, given displacement versus time relation. We take another example. Now again the displacement versus time relation is given by relation this x t cube plus 4t square plus 2t plus 3. Now see what we have to find out velocity at t is equal to 2 seconds and acceleration at t is equal to 1. Now what we see here, time is only one time, that shows only instantaneous velocity or only velocity. Here also the time is only one value, that is at t is equal to 1 second. So this is also instantaneous acceleration or simply acceleration. Now x is equal to t cube plus 4t square plus 2t plus 3. Now see the velocity is the first derivative of displacement. So t cube derivative we have seen earlier 3t square, 4 is a constant term derivative, t square is 2t, 2 is constant derivative, t is 1, 3 is constant derivative is 0. So in that case 3t square plus 8t plus 2, that is the equation for the velocity. Now we have to find out velocity at t is equal to 2 seconds. So v is equal to 3 into 2 square plus 8 into 2 plus 2. That is 3 into 4 plus 16 plus 2. Okay, that is 12 plus 30 meter per second. So this is how we can obtain velocity or instantaneous velocity at t. Now next we have to find out acceleration at t is equal to 1 second. Now see what is our equation for the velocity that we have obtained is 3t square plus 8t plus 2. Okay. Now acceleration is we know dv by dt. So a is equal to dv by dt. Now 3 is constant term. T square derivative is 2t. 8 t derivative is 1. 2 is equal. So a is equal to 6t plus 8. Okay, that is the equation for the instantaneous acceleration. Now see the time given is 1 second. So a is equal to 6. Okay, this is how we can obtain value of the velocity and acceleration at a given time. Now see earlier we saw about x versus t graph, that was distance versus time graph or the displacement versus time graph. Now we have to see the velocity versus time graph. Now see the first graph. See this is the time axis and velocity. Now what we see here, the velocity versus time graph is parallel to time axis. Now what we see here, time changes but the velocity do not change. So what we can write here, if v versus t graph, now we know this graph is parallel to time axis, is parallel to time axis, object moves with constant. Now see what is the meaning of the constant velocity. Now just now we have seen average acceleration is delta v upon delta t, that is v2 minus v1 upon t2 minus t1. But what I say, let us say time is t1 here and t2 here, but we see the velocity is same. So in that case delta v will be v2 minus v1 is 0. So acceleration is 0. So what we can see from this graph is the object moves with a constant velocity or it moves with zero acceleration. Okay. Now see the second type graph. Okay. Now what we see the v versus t graph is a straight line. Okay. If v versus t graph is a straight line, object moves with uniform acceleration or it is constant acceleration. Now what we see here, see at time t is equal to 1 second, velocity is 3 meter per second, 2 second, velocity is 6 meter per second, 3 second, velocity is 9 meter. See here, in equal time interval, there is equal increase in the velocity. Here, in equal time interval there is equal increase in velocity. Now let us say we find out acceleration in time interval 0 to 2 seconds. That is average acceleration in 0 to 2 seconds. Let us say first example is this. So it will be v2 minus v1 upon v2 minus v1. So what we see at time 0, velocity is 0, and time 2 second, velocity is 6. Now suppose we find out acceleration in between 2 seconds and 4 seconds. So in that case, average acceleration is v2 minus. Now at 4 seconds, 12 meter per second velocity, and in 2 seconds the velocity is 6 meter. Okay, now let us say we find out average acceleration between 0 to 4 seconds. Okay, now 0 to 5 seconds, let us say. So average acceleration is v2 minus v1 upon. Now what is velocity at 5 seconds? It is 15. At time 0 second, okay, velocity is 0. See what we observe from the graph. Okay, what we observe from the graph. See, whatever may be the time interval, the value of acceleration is same. Okay, so that's why it is called uniform acceleration. So if there is equal increase in the velocity in equal time interval, see the object moves with a constant acceleration. And what we have done, okay, this is nothing but slope of the graph. Let us say, see this is delta t and this is delta v. So what we have to remember, see this is a straight line. Okay, you will study in the mathematics later on. Okay, you will study later in the mathematics that, see the slope, this is a straight line and slope gives some value. So here slope of velocity versus time graph gives value of acceleration. Okay, so this is a second type of graph. See, first type we have seen if the velocity time graph is parallel to time axis, the object moves with a constant velocity or the zero acceleration. Secondly, if the v versus t graph is a straight line, see the object moves with a uniform acceleration or the constant acceleration. Now we see in this case, in equal time interval, there is equal increase in the velocity. Now next will be non-uniform acceleration. In that case, see in equal time interval, there will not be any equal increase in the velocity. So this is how we can represent. If there is unequal change in velocity in equal time interval, then object moves with non-uniform okay. Now okay, now what we see here, let us say the graph we denote as A, B, C, D, E. Now first we find out slope or the acceleration in time interval 0 to 2 seconds, then average acceleration is v2 minus v1. Okay, now see what is the change here. Now suppose we find out between 2 to 4 seconds. Okay, then average acceleration is 8 minus 2 upon upon 4 minus 2. Okay, now see what we see here, the time interval is same, but the change in velocity or acceleration value is different. So that we can say the object moves with a non-uniform acceleration. Okay, so this is about v versus t graph. Now we know acceleration is of two types. One is a positive acceleration and second is a negative acceleration that we call a retardation. See a simple example of retardation: when we are moving on a vehicle and we apply brake, see there is a decrease in the velocity, that shows retarded motion. Sometimes it is called deceleration also, or the negative acceleration also. So from this we can say, if v versus t graph, see velocity is increased with time, that is say positive slope or positive acceleration. But with increase in time, okay, the velocity decrease, then there is a negative slope, then it is called retardation, negative acceleration, or sometimes it is called deceleration also. And both here, see the slope will be positive, but here the slope will be negative. Okay, so if the v versus t graph is going downwards, we say is a negative acceleration, and v versus t graph is going upward direction, we say there is a positive acceleration. Now, see here we have seen about v versus t graph. See one important property: area enclosed by v versus t graph is value of displacement. Okay, this is an important property we will be using number of times. Area enclosed by v versus t graph gives the value of displacement. Now, for example, let us say v versus t graph is given like this. Here time is in second, velocity is in. Now what we see here is a right angle triangle. Now if we calculate area of this v versus t graph, what we see is a right angle triangle. We know the equation for area of the right angle triangle. The area of triangle is half into base into height. 1/2 base value is 10 and height is 12. Okay. Now see we go by means of dimension. See if we multiply this unit of velocity and time, okay, we get meter. That is a unit of the displacement. But one thing we have to remember well, see the area is a vector quantity. So in that case, if we get the positive area, okay, then displacement will be positive. Let us say, for simple example, v versus t graph is like this. Now what we see here, there are two graphs here, let us say A1 and A2. Okay, now here also the area of velocity time graph will give the value of the displacement. But see the graph above origin, okay, or the coordinate axis, see this area we have to consider positive, this area below the axis we have to consider negative. Now suppose we have to take displacement A1 minus A. But we have seen earlier that the distance is always positive. So suppose we have to obtain distance covered okay. Now we know distance is the magnitude of the displacement. So if I consider A1, though this is negative, if we take the modulus of this, then it turns out to be positive value. Then A1 plus A2 will give the value of distance. So this is how area is a vector quantity. So by taking positive and negative respectively, we can calculate displacement and distance covered also. Okay. So this is about the velocity versus time graph. Now next is very important theory. See, that is a kinematic equation. Okay, that is kinematic equation of motion in one dimension. Now let us say, see this is our velocity versus time. Now we know, see the moment we start observing the motion is 0 time. Let us say the graph is like this. So this is t is equal to 0, the velocity will be 0. Later at time t is equal to t, the velocity is t. Okay. Now see, we have seen earlier that the slope of velocity time graph is the value of acceleration. So by definition, acceleration is delta v minus upon delta t. Sorry. So what we can see here is the final velocity. This is initial velocity. So what we see here, at is v minus v0. V is equal to v0. That is the first kinematic equation. Now, second, we have to find out displacement. Now we know the area of the velocity time graph will give the value of the displacement. So let us say this is, we denote as like this. Okay. Now see, this is a figure form. See, what we see is a trapezium. Okay. Now what is the property of a trapezium? See, there is a quadrilateral with one pair of parallel sides. Okay. Now we can divide into two parts also. One is a rectangle and triangle. That also can be done, but this will be very easy. Now displacement here, we have to write area of v versus t graph is. So here displacement is area of trapezium ABC. Now see, what is the formula of the area of the trapezium? We know trapezium is a quadrilateral with one pair of parallel sides. Let us say A, B, C and D. Now this is a pair of parallel sides. Let us say this AB length is A, CD is D, and this is a perpendicular distance between two parallel sides. So in that case, area of the trapezium we have studied earlier and given by x by 2 plus b. Okay, that is a formula they studied early in this time. Now here this AB is nothing but V0. Okay, CD is V. See, these are the parallel sides of a trapezium. Now see, the perpendicular distance is H is AD, that is T minus 0 is T. Okay. Now See, by using this formula, displacement d is h by 2 a plus b. H is nothing but our t. A side is, let us say, v0. B side is v. So we can write like this: t by 2 v plus v0. Okay. Now, see, just now we have obtained the value of v. So we know v is equal to v naught plus v. Okay. Now that value we are substituting here. So d is equal to t by 2. See, we substitute the value of v here. So that will be v0 plus at plus v0 2 v0. Now if I simplify, see, 80 into t will make 80 square. This is another important kinematic equation. See, the first equation was v is equal to v0 plus at. Second is for the displacement, v0 t plus half at square. Now see the third equation. See, just now we have seen t is equal to, displacement is t by 2 v plus v0. Okay. Now we have seen v is equal to v0 plus at. v minus v0 is at. So what is the value of t here? v minus v0 upon a. Now that value we have to substitute here. Okay. So how we can write this? That is, displacement d is equal to 1 by 2. See, what is the value of t here? v minus v0 upon a and v plus v0. Now we can write numerator is like this. Okay. Now we know the expansion x plus y, x minus y is x square minus y square. d is v square minus. Okay. So this is a second equation for the displacement. Now we summarize. First equation is v is equal to v naught plus at. Second equation is d is equal to v naught t plus half at square. And the third equation is d is v square. Okay. Now this is a very important theory. See, number of times throughout the 11th and 12th standard we will be using this. So this is how we can derive the kinematic equation of motion in one dimension with constant acceleration. Dear students, I hope you have enjoyed my lectures. Earlier I gave some examples. I am sure you might have solved it. See, if you have got solution, you can send me on my number which I mentioned. Okay, or you can ask me for some more question regarding this. Thank you.